Nope.
But now apparently curling can kill you too. So I think that's what makes the Winter Olympics more exciting to watch. The
What, the
fact that
increased
you
risk of
watch
death?
this person. Oh, what?
The increased risk of death?
Yeah, I mean the fact that you watch these events and every time they start, like, well, it's in God's hands now.
So yeah, what's up? What's up, John? Bueller.
I'm here
Bueller.
now.
What's up?
I don't know if I can speak.
You can speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I tried to speak before and then I got cut off, so I said,
dude,
okay, whatever.
I haven't even been around. So hold on, just talk because I'm actually changing my microphone real quick. Oh, Maron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bow.
Oh, Ryan, how pissed would you be if you went to a curler's house and the floor was like not clean?
Give it a 4. Like I'd be highly irritated.
Dude, everybody that's a curler needs to have that comes with 2 Swiffers no matter what. It's a laminate floor and a Swiffer.
Dude, I'd be so mad. I mean, if I went to a curler's house and I couldn't risky business all the way through the damn fucker.
I don't know if I'd be pissed, but I mean, I would be as disappointed as I was when John Cena did not appear at the Royal Rumble dressed as Peacemaker.
Yeah, that's what I meant, disappointed.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's a good one. Like,
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, John, what about you? What do you think on a curling scale?
I don't understand it. I think it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it's shuffleboard on ice. There,
It's stupid.
You figured out the sport. It's shuffleboard on ice.
It's
I
dumb.
don't even know how to play fucking shuffleboard.
Oh, dude, well, you're not old, so it kind of works out that way.
Oh, what? Just because I'm old? Is that a knock on me?
No, I'm just saying shuffleboard. No, shuffleboard on ice has to take more athletics. So there, but if you're playing regular, if you know how to play regular shuffleboard, I mean, it's a retirement sport. It is. It's like bocce. And I'm Italian, and I'm saying that.
It's like bridge,
It's like hearts,
canasta,
gin.
spades.
Hey! Watch your. Be respectful.
Like,
Eh,
I know my dad hated when me and my friends would like play Winter Olympic stuff because like we couldn't go outside. So like we we had a linoleum floor in the kitchen and we actually waxed the shit and played curling. Yeah, my dad got home. He's like, "Man, the floor looks great. Yeah, the kids are playing it. What would they play? Curling." As soon as she said curling, he fell on his ass. Just
What the hell were you using to clean the floor? Fucking KY jelly?
olive oil.
Oh, we did. We got like
Wait. You might want to rephrase.
Did you use KY jelly?
Wait, what?
You might want to rephrase that.
It sounds like you lubed up your floor for smoother whacking.
No, we got wax, like floor wax.
All right, because at first we were thinking like you used like sex jelly.
No, we duct taped towels to brooms because they didn't have Swiffers back then, so we duct taped towels to brooms and swept like that. And then had another thing. Yes, it was like homemade curling.
Holy fuck, Chris! You have to learn how to phrase. Oh, you don't open up a sentence with "yeah."
This is what we did back in the day when video games really weren't that good.
Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ.
Like play wrestling, play basketball. Like
I needed that.
you know
Thank
how many
you.
parents are I'm saying, do you know how many parents are probably happy as hell that video games got a lot better?
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
so-
I remember whenever parents got pissed because kids were beating each other up on the playground playing Power Rangers.
Yeah. After 10,000
Alright,
years
pretty
of free! Time to conquer Earth!
or like, you know, you put, or you like had wrestling matches on the living room floor. You know, how many people jumped and did an elbow drop off a couch?
Oh, dude, I used to do swantons.
Well, since I'm old as fuck, you know when I played my rock and that one stick I owned?
I mean,
What the fuck?
John, did you have that little wheel that you flicked with a stick down the street?
God, we couldn't afford that yet.
You had enough
So
money.
all I
my
had was
God.
that
You had
rock and
enough
that
money for the
stick that
pet
I
rock?
found. And then if I was lucky, I got an extra leaf that year for Christmas.
You had enough money for that pet rock?
No, we couldn't afford the pet rock. That was a brand name. We had to pick our own.
Wild.
Oh my God.
Picked up a wild rock.
I'm wondering how many people got power bombed or got pile drove as a kid.
Oh my god. Yeah, you didn't want to get pile driven as a kid, then you realized what that term really meant when you got older.
Right, and it took on a whole new meaning.
Dude, I got power bombed through a freaking like tray table.
Oh god, yeah, that's what
John,
we...
you damn near killed me, bro.
Remember the old school ones?
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and welcome to Jackass. This is curling on linoleum.
Dude, that's what I mean. So many kids in the 80s did jackass shit because we were bored.
And there was nobody to film it, so like, who would never
Yeah.
know?
You know, like you do. Oh my god, John, you fucking killed me.
That was fucking killer. My rock and one stick that I owned.
Yeah, I mean that was before like video games really had it good. Like, I mean, like you want to play a Winter Olympic event or whatever event you put on Nintendo, you're like,
Oh,
man,
oh,
we could do
Jesus.
this. We could do this outside better.
You just have the stick. What did you do with the stick?
Fucking stick.
So
Stick with a hamper. There you go.
So what's going on, John?
What? I can't hear you. I'm so old.
You geriatric fuck.
Oh god damn it! No, what did you do? What? How? Dude, that
You
wrestling.
don't want to know. If you don't want to know, don't ask.
No,
Well, I
what
want to
did
know.
you-
so
What did
tell
you
us.
do?
No, you don't, because you want to hear rants. You want the heel zombie master to come out? No, you
Oh
don't.
boy.
No, you do not.
More.
There's the heel, and then there's the psychotic. Right now, the psychotic is beating the shit out of the heel.
Why the hell did Montez Ford just fly out of the ring like Superman?
No idea.
Dear sweet Lord, baby Jesus.
So
I
so,
mean, this is.
oh, go ahead.
I mean, this is our show. If you want to rant, rant.
Well, John, everyone's bitching now in the group chat, in the other group chat we're in, about how they did not announce Nice versus Wayward 3.
Oh, tell them to put on their big girl panties and shut the fuck up.
Who gives a flying fuck?
Oh, I told them, I go, they did announce it. You know, when it was 1-1, you dumb motherfuckers. I told Camp
What twice? Duh. Let's see. One match. The other one another match. Gee, how are they gonna settle this? Let's have a third fucking match. Oh, I get. Wait a minute. I'm talking about an internet wrestling community.
No, you're
Wait a
talking-
minute. They flunked arithmetic.
You're talking about Chino and Camp. Yep. You're talking about
That was an angry.
You're talking about a guy who was talking about cheesecake the entire women's match.
I mean, cheesecake's pretty fucking good, brother.
Not that kind of cheesecake.
No, Ryan, you did not. I'm sitting between these two gentlemen who are good friends of mine, not to mention, and good friends of Ronnie too.
Yeah, and that's why I'll
With Scarlett Bordeaux and some chick named Cameron who look like a dollar store Eva Marie.
all red
We're
everything.
We're fighting in the ring.
Gross.
And I heard more comments about, does the carton match the drapes? Oh, look at this. Oh, my God. Look at those tits. Oh, look at that ass. Oh, my God. I swear to God, that's why I sat there with my hand. I was face palming, sitting in the crowd.
Where was this show at?
Rawway.
In Broadway, right by my house, anyway.
Damn.
So
On
Jersey,
Fight TV.
Jersey people were being Jersey people.
Oh no.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So no, it gets even better because this dude, and we're not recording, we're just live, and I'll say it to his face. I shit you not, dropped, had 26 items signed by Scarlett, and paid
I heard about this.
and paid $350 for 26 fucking items.
390. No, it was 390.
Well, that I'm talking about I'm not counting the photo. I'm just saying just the item signed was 350.
So we're live, but we're not recording anything, so anybody can hear it or nobody can hear it.
Unless they go on Twitch. That's the only way they can hear it.
Well, nobody we know ever fucking listens to Twitch, but that's another thing anyway.
Yeah. Go ahead, have fun.
That's another thing. That's another thing that.
Don't
we're gonna
worry,
have to discuss down the road.
don't worry. I'm trying to find a theme song so we can actually put our shit on Spotify.
What? And then we can pull it off so we can follow Neil fucking Young? No, thank you.
No. Fuck Neil Young. I will stand behind Joe Rogan for different reasons. It has nothing to do with.
All I know is my thing is with this. Look, you like a wrestler, great. Support him. Buy a T-shirt. Maybe get a photo and an autograph. Be done with it. Who needs 12 to 13 items signed by one fucking person?
John, 26 in a row.
But I'm just saying. Who fucking needs that much shit?
No, you're absolutely right.
What?
Yeah.
I have, and I swear, no, I'm gonna fucking talk now.
Go ahead.
I collect autographs too. I have binders. I have 3 binders of 8x10s. 8x10s only. A few figures that are autographed, not a lot. A few, maybe 5 or 6. But I get one autograph on a photo. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm content. Who needs 12 autographs of Paige? Who needs 26 autographs from Scarlett? Who needs 30 autographs from the Iconics? Who needs 30 autographs from Eva Marie? Who needs all that shit? What do you do? Put them on the wall, circle jerk as you spin it around the room?
No, man, these are the guys that run their prices up online and sell that shit.
The problem is he doesn't. They're not sold. They're hung up all over the house.
Listen, I would respect it more if he actually did sell them. He doesn't. He keeps them for his personal collection.
Okay, that's weird.
No, that's beyond weird.
That's idiotic.
That's like obsession.
Dude, this is the same
Fucking
guy.
duh.
This is the same guy that legitly got a autograph of Paige on his arm, and then the next day went and got it tattooed.
No, you're wrong. It's Alexa Bliss.
All right.
Tattooed on his arm.
No, and Paige.
No, Paige hasn't signed his arm yet. He's waiting for that.
I'm surprised he hasn't
What the
I'm
fuck?
surprised he hasn't had Paige sign his dick and let him get tattooed.
No comment on that.
Cause
He goes and
Yeah.
he takes his dick out and she's like, I can only fit my initials.
Meanwhile,
I'm not touching that one.
this dude has a wife and kid.
Oh, trust me. I love the guy like a brother, but there's one thing. I could go on about him. I have serious thoughts about him that
Yeah.
I'm not going to say on any live air microphone whatsoever. If it were the 4 of us just talking silently without being recorded or live on anything, I'd say something. But I'm not going to.
He goes a little bit overboard. I'm waiting for John to say a little. Yeah, a little.
I say nothing.
Yeah, this dude drops like serious coin for one person, and I'm just like, and I looked at him. I'm like, this is the same dude. And I looked at him. I go, dude, you're the same person that missed a fucking mortgage payment because you wanted to spend so much money at SummerSlam. I'm like, Get your priorities straight, bud.
I say
Right.
There you go.
nothing. I say nothing.
I see nothing.
I see nothing. I say nothing. I comment on nothing.
I know nothing.
Because trust me, like I said, the psychotic one is in there and he's fighting to get out. And if I get crossed, God help that person that crosses the psychotic line and gets my wrath. God help him. Because Ronnie's seen that. Ronnie knows that person exists. Because he's seen it.
All right,
And he knows it's there.
we ready? I'm gonna hit record.
Go ahead.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of From Real to Heel. On today's episode, there's not a lot really to talk about when it comes to wrestling. We're just going to have some fun bullshitting. There is some news about Nia Snacks, but then also I want to talk about certain companies that may have went too far. And just, it's pretty much a storytelling day. No music. We're going to have something coming up for a theme song down the road. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Stephen Ronnie, and with me, as always...
It is I, Trips, and the Winter Olympics are here.
as well as...
The Zombie Master, and who gives a fuck?
it's cold.
I love them. I love them.
It's negative 12 degrees in China. As well as...
Captain Stuntcock himself, the Hustle City Hooligan.
Oh, boy. Is there some fucking shit to go around. I mean, on one hand, you get Joe Rogan wanting to get pulled from Spotify. Neil Young pulls his shit from Spotify. Rumble decides to give Joe Rogan 4 years or $100 million for 4 years. So, yeah, Joe Rogan don't really get... Oh, yeah, you want to pull him from Spotify? Bye. $100 million down the road.
What's next? The ABC going to get everything pulled because of Whoopi Goldberg?
Let's not go into Whoopi. That can open up a can of worms that we should not go down. Remember, we're putting our stuff on Spotify. We don't need to get pulled after 1 day, after 1 minute.
All I got to say about the Rogan thing is, because there were people like, are you going to cancel your Spotify account? I'm like, no, I'm not. There are way too many bands I like, and there are way too many bands that use Spotify to get their stuff out of there. If you have a problem with Rogan, or if you follow him and you have a problem with him, unfollow him. Don't listen to him. It's that fucking simple.
Or yeah, just exactly. If you don't like it, turn it the fuck off.
I got news for you. The only time I ever listened to Joe Rogan or watched him in any ways when he did Fear Factor, and then again after that, while he got boring. And the only time I ever really did like him when I used to watch news radio.
Joe Rogan.
I'm old as fuck. And remember that show from the late '80s, early '90s.
with the antennas.
Yeah, when I had to fix my rabbit ears to watch news radio.
Oh God.
After I cranked
I
up my
remember
car to
that.
go to work.
You know, when the president was on, your night was fucking shot.
But I had to crank up my car. That's when I used to crank up my car to go to work.
Oh God, you're not that old.
Jesus Christ.
Well, there's some people in this world, not naming any names, not here actually, but there are some people in this world who have called me, let's see, Grand fucking Methuselah. I've been told
I forgot about that.
I've been told, when am I gonna dye my hair because I'm starting to look like a snow cap? Yeah.
I didn't hear about that one.
Oh no, I got that. I heard that over the weekend. I heard that on Saturday.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, that's why if you noticed I was quiet for a while, because I was mad.
Who the fuck?
And if it's somebody I knew from my past, somebody you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Somebody from my past that you don't know, that none of you guys in our little group know. But that person, if I see that person again, they're going to regret the day they cross my fucking path. Because I know where they fucking live.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
So
God
if that
damn.
person's listening, which I have a feeling they might be, because they got no fucking life of their own, hey, asshole, I know what street you're on. Say something to me again, we'll have a little discussion. And if you try to mess with me again, I got friends that are bigger than you. I got friends that take bigger shits than you.
You eat
So watch your ass, motherfucker.
You eat
got
pieces of
me?
shit for breakfast?
So angry.
No, I'm not angry. I'm fucking hostile right now.
Jesus.
That and there's other personal stuff that I'm not going to disclose.
Yeah, I
on here.
kind of figured that.
So you take what happened then, because Alicia didn't even know this happened, and she's not going to know, because I don't want her getting worked up. But the next person that crosses me, either a scam caller or
God.
somebody in the real world.
You better record that if you're the scam caller.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
Oh, trust me, I'm in the process of finding a way to record scam calls. And Ronnie already knows how I fuck with those motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I had the solar panel people call me today. They spoke to Zach Morris and AC Slater and then actually called me by name by those names.
Oh, God.
Mr. Morris, do you know that you could get a better deal on your house? I'm like, but I live out in L.A. where it's warm all the day and I surf all the time. Then you don't need solar panels? No, you dumb fuck, because I was the governor there, remember?
Christ.
Then I either get a go fuck yourself, go fuck your mother, or go fuck your sister. Because that's the only comeback these pieces of trash know.
You're not wrong.
They don't have clever comebacks. Go fuck yourself. Oh boy. You are so fucking clever, you piece of dog shit. You wouldn't have the balls that God gave the common dog to say that to someone's face if they were in front of you. Because you're hiding behind a phone in Pakistan somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, India, Pakistan. It's someone. 90% of those people, 90% of those call centers are overseas. Sadly.
I'm not
Those
saying anything
people.
derogatory. I'm not saying anything derogatory. I'm just
No,
speaking
I'm
the
just
truth.
saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, most of the call centers are overseas. You're not saying anything wrong. They outsource them to India.
So can you tell I'm a little hostile right now?
Just a little.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. All right. You want to get You want to have some fun then? Do we want to talk about a wrestling promotion that went too far that I watched a documentary on, or do we want to talk about Nia Snacks?
You mean that one who retired from wrestling? No, I could give two shits about her. That made the fake vaccine card? Oh, yeah, I remember that. I heard about that.
That's what I was going to talk about. That's why I was trying to
I know, I heard about that. I heard about that.
All right, well, we're just going to start off with that. So, yeah, Nia Jax is back in the news. Deciding to spill the beans about the locker room situations and how about 40% of the locker room had fake vaccine cards and allegedly had fake vaccine cards and were paying, allegedly, doctors to pass them through.
What company is this?
WWE.
The E.
The E, because it's Nia Jax.
Oh, God.
Like, good old Nia Snacks put this out there in an interview she did.
Now, with Nia, do you believe what she says or you take it with a grain of salt?
I'll say this before anybody else comments. Does anybody really give a fuck when it comes to her?
Yes, because Roman Reigns.
No, I'm saying about her.
No,
Not about
but
Roman Reigns.
no.
Does anybody give a fuck about her? I don't.
No, but her coming up with this, if you believe her or not, if any of it is true, you have Roman Reigns on your roster who has who had fucking leukemia. And he's been wrestling guys. Obviously, who the hell knows who he's been wrestling if they've had any remote, like if they have a fake vaccine card, then, I mean, other than if they do tests, I don't know what they do behind the scenes, but she brought something into the forefront of this, and it is interesting. Because if you believe her or not, that's some heavy allegations.
Yes.
Because remember, that was one of the reasons she allegedly got fired for not taking the vaccine. That's one of the reasons.
Or so she claims.
Right, that's why I said one of. I'm not saying it's the reason, if it is true, but it is one of the reasons that has been put out there.
No, it's not the fact that she injured like half the female roster.
I mean, so
In the ring.
I mean, so is Nyla Rose, but that's no here nor
Put
there.
Kairi Sane nearly put Kairi Sane in a fucking what's that?
Harakiri.
Chiropractic ward.
She put it in a
Not
harakiri.
once, but twice.
But
Put Charlotte on the fence. Put Becky on the fence. Put Bailey on the fence.
put Ronda almost out.
But no, that's not why she got let go. She couldn't wrestle her way out of a paper fucking bag, but yet that's the reason why she claims she was released. Yeah. Face it, you sucked. Not even your uncles or any of your family members could have helped your ass. You sucked. Face the facts.
No, but what? Go around the room. What's your guys like, Chris? What is your opinion on this? Just these allegations coming out.
I mean, like I said, Nia, like, if it's Nia, you have to really take what she says with a grain of salt because she's been caught in lies before.
Right.
And the other thing is also, like John said, I mean, it wasn't the fact that she injured half the female roster. I mean, hell, Kairi Sane couldn't wait to get on a fucking plane back to Japan.
Smartest thing she ever did.
Yeah. Like, I'm not ready. Ah, whatever. Bang. I mean, Nia just, they tried and tried and tried and tried, and it just never worked out. So, I mean, I imagine she has some sour grapes. And it's like, as soon as anybody gets released, especially if they're anti-vax or whatever, they're going to go. It's like, all of a sudden they go right that, and it's like, no, I was oppressed. And no, you weren't oppressed. My God. I hate when people do that shit. It's like, no, you sucked. You sucked. WWE's like, you know, I guess they figured they wanted to like cut bait or cut money or whatever, so they cut your contract. Sorry. You can go back to the world of plus size modeling.
But there's the other question, though. And Ryan, I'll get your thoughts on this in a little bit, but what does she have to gain from it?
Her 15 minutes of fame were almost up. She needed to extend it.
She could, if she wanted to wrestle again, she could have gone to any wrestling company and they would have probably signed her because she's still a WWE name.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's a whole fresh new roster of people that nearly maim and injure.
Right, that's a different. Let's not talk about the fact that she gets injured. Let's talk about the actual fact that she is accusing people of going under a Vax card that is a publicly traded company, who has a guy who their top dog, no pun intended, had leukemia.
All right. I'll put it this way. What did Jose Canseco have to gain when he wrote that book?
Oh, he had nothing to lose, everything to gain, but he was also salty as shit. He was.
There you
Again,
go.
another one with 15 minutes of fame that was fleeting and needed something to re-energize it.
But he was never going to get back into baseball. Nia could have kept wrestling if she wanted to. She clear as day didn't want to wrestle.
All right. It's not about getting back into wrestling or whatever. It's about name recognition. It's about getting your name out there, having your name in the public eye again. Like, was Canseco going to go back to baseball? No. But all of a sudden, boom, he's in the public eye. He's on everybody's mouth.
But wasn't he already doing an MMA tour when he was doing? Wasn't he fighting MMA when this whole thing happened with the book? So he was already in the public eye.
I'm saying, when she got released, did anybody really give a fuck? No. All of a sudden now she's doing interview after interview after interview, allegation after allegation after allegation. All of a sudden, people are talking about her again. It's that simple. It's that simple. And now, she can say whatever the fuck she wants because her 90-day non-compete clause is up. And she's not going to wrestle anywhere, so she's going back to the world of plus-size modeling. So she figured she might as well get her last digs in.
Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I don't see what she has to gain. For real.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to gain by letting people know how it is. Everybody shoots on the company when they leave.
But even if something like this is a minusculely true, how bad does that look?
Not bad enough for them to worry about it.
Obviously, yeah. I don't know. It's just something. I just saw that, and I'm like, why would you what do you have to prove coming out and saying anything? And I'm like, it's interesting to see if any of that is remotely true. Because even if it's true, you're gonna catch some backlash because due to budget cuts, you still made $1.1 billion fucking dollars in revenue.
It's another fucking joke.
I don't mind.
Joke.
I don't mind the releases because of the fact that if they really wanted to, if they didn't have a bloated roster like some other companies now, you still should be able to make money with these guys.
Whoever could you be speaking of?
Oh, Hey, a little, a different Khan. Tony Khan.
Fuck Tony Khan, dumbass.
But, if you're telling me, Keith, some of the ones were surprising. Obviously, again, we've always talked about this. The Keith Lee release was shocking and stuff like that. But at the same time, and obviously Karrion Kross and stuff like that, but you look at certain guys like Tavari getting let from 205 Live. Fucking Tozawa hasn't been on TV because they're doing nothing now with the fucking 24/7 title. It's get ready for those. Get ready for the 24/7 crew to be put on their axe.
Yeah, so then, other than R-Truth, who's apparently best friends with Vince, so he'll find something for him to do.
R-Truth's already done. He's already been done with wrestling. He does his comedy spots, and he's a talent agent. He's a talent scout. So I pretty much bet you his in-ring career has been over for the last year and a half.
Does anybody really miss him? Does anybody really miss him?
Yeah, because
he was good.
Dude, he was good. He got a fucking imaginary friend over. He got an imaginary friend over.
I love it. I love R-Truth. He was great.
I loved him in TNA.
Oh yeah, he's great in TNA.
The only time I ever met R-Truth, believe it or not, is when they filmed The Wrestler at a Rawway show that I was at, a Jersey All-Pro show. They were filming The Wrestler. I met Mickey Rourke that day. I met Darren Aronofsky that day. They filmed the R-Truth stuff that was in The Wrestler
right
the day I was there. I met him that night. So he was cool enough and everything.
Oh, R-Truth has been R-Truth, honest to God, I can never say anything bad about him. He's always been there for the fans. And Vince never wanted to fire him in the first place. Because remember, he was in WWE before he was in TNA, and he had to fire him because of fucking Road Dogg's bullshit.
Yeah, K-Quick.
Yeah. So R-Truth was
Get
already
rowdy.
there. R-Truth was already there, and because of Road Dogg's fuck up, he went to TNA and made another name for himself. And that has been going on since, oh God, he's been wrestling for what, almost 30, he's been what, in ring for 30 years?
I'll tell
Just
you in a
about,
second.
yeah.
I'll tell you. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, man. He's great. I mean, in TNA, you got to see him as a serious wrestler. He was a world champion there.
An NWA world champ.
Right. And then in WWE, he's able to just kind of kick back. And, you know, when he does wrestle, he goes out there and he does his shit. But you're right. He does the comedy thing. You know, I remember he was answering, like, mean tweets. And somebody was like, just saw R-Truth on Raw. I forgot he was even with WWE still. And he's just like, you know who didn't forget? My bank account.
Yeah.
He started wrestling in 97. He's 50 years old. So he's been wrestling since 97. Anybody
So-
want to do the math on
So
that?
he's been wrestling for
25 years.
No, more. 34.
I had to get
Oh,
my
no.
abacus out to
Shut up, John.
figure it out. But
Shut up, John.
Yeah, 2017 would have been his
Yeah, you're right. 20th year. Yeah,
20
it's
20 year.
24. He's almost about to hit 25.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, he started in the Indies within WWE from 99 to 2002, then
Looks
to
like they are
TNA till 2007. Then he came back to WWE in 2008, where he's been here ever since.
Yep.
So, and he's released actually a couple of albums,
Yeah.
and he's actually got a filmography.
Yeah, and also if you ever go watch his
A lot
stuff,
before movies, but still.
go watch his game shows when he did on WWE. Oh my God, that shit's hilarious. When they did the pandemic stuff, he did his own game show on fucking the network. Oh, it's so funny. Oh my God, it's so bad, but it's so funny. But no, John, what's your opinion on that?
You already got my opinion on the whole R-Truth thing.
Not our truth. Nice snacks.
Gives a fuck.
Okay.
She was. All I gotta say is, look, she was terrible in the ring. She was dangerous to have around. Whether I think the only reason she's stirring all this shit up is to keep her 15 minutes of fame in that what movie was it? He goes that you see that gleam in your eye, that's your career light fading. I forget what movie that's from.
I don't even know.
But that's
Yeah.
exact.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
But that's exactly what it is. She is. Chris said it better, and it's sour grapes. It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. It's sour grapes. She's bitching and complaining because she wants to keep her name a recognition thing. So when she does become a plus model again, God bless her if she wants to do it. But she wants to be able to say, oh, I worked for WWE. I'm the one who blew the whistle on this, and this. But I'm sorry, if I'm a modeling agency, I'm not hiring her, because if she's a whistleblower, how could you say anything of secretive around her? Because who's to say she's not going to spill the beans if they don't give her what she wants? Tell me I'm wrong.
Her name.
You're not at all. I mean, like, it's one thing to be flipped by the bus, but then you throw other people under the bus. Like, really? No.
All right. So I know I'm gonna have fun with this one. Hey, Ryan, in other who gives a fuck news, GCW just signed Nick Gage to a multi-year deal.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. First off, I want to know how well GCW is really doing to sign any contracts. It's an indie company.
It's a fucking handshake, and they called it a contract so they sound more important. And like, I've sent you guys the meme of like all the list of fucking. See the one where the dude like bites his metal and sprays champagne in his face, and he's on the
Yeah.
bottom stool.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those, except the stool's been expanded to include literally every hardcore wrestler, and right in front of Nick Gage is like dipshits in their backyard.
Is the oh god damn it, what the fuck's his name?
Superhuman.
Superhuman. Yeah. Is Superhuman.
Oh, I got a story about him when you're done. I got a story about him that I got from somebody
I mean,
for something that happened this weekend.
literally I saw this and I'm just like, literally I'm on one of the websites right now, eWrestling News, and I'm like, Nick Gage got a multi-year contract. Who gives a fuck? Okay, give me.
Well, he wasn't like a dipshit. He's got maybe 6 months left in the business.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask Chris this legitly. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Besides GCW, give me one company Nick Gage would actually wrestle for. What?
Who?
Exactly. No.
No, I said who?
Nick
Did
Gage.
you say him?
Nick Gage.
Oh, Nick Gage.
Give me
All
one
right.
company other than GCW that he would actually wrestle for. And I said wrestle.
Outlaw Macho Wrestling.
What? For a multi-year contract?
No, I'm just saying is though the GCW.
6 hot dogs, 3 oysters.
So hold on. So
The only one would be PW, and that's like a revival.
So one company. No, because this whole thing on here saying GCW signing Nick Gage to a multi-year deal. Okay, no offense.
If they're signing wrestlers and they didn't sign Matt Cardona, they're fucking idiots.
There you go. But but my whole thing is though, is you're turning around and saying you're signing wrestlers. Okay, where the fuck is Nick Gage really gonna go wrestle?
He's a deathmatch wrestler.
Who put the weight
You know who a
back
real
on?
deathmatch wrestler was? Fucking Necro Butcher was a real deathmatch fucking wrestler.
And I have respect for Necro
Because
Butcher.
Necro
Necro
can
Butcher
also
was a
wrestle.
crazy ass motherfucker
Yes.
that I've seen wrestle live several times.
Because
That
Necro
motherfucker's
Butcher,
nuts.
Ronnie nailed it. Because Necro Butcher can fucking work. Well, could fucking work.
You
Nick
can't-
Gage is fat boy monkey porn.
You want to watch a
Fat
match?
monkey-
I will tell everybody, go watch this match because it's on YouTube. Go watch Necro Butcher versus Samoa fucking Joe in Ring of Honor.
I remember that match.
That proves Necro Butcher can work both hardcore and regular wrestling.
Traditional wrestling.
Yes.
The funny thing is, I've seen Nick Gage. This was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, not now.
Right.
A couple of years ago, he worked a damn good thing in AIW. He also worked in AAW. I mean, those are indies. But yeah, ever since he's got back on the sauce or whatever, it's been primarily death matches. I don't know. I mean, you could possibly have him do like bullshit by the numbers and Impact, but you can't give him a mic no matter what.
His glory to fame was wrestling AEW.
Yeah, you couldn't give him a mic because as soon as you say, "Who what the fuck?" and that's the end of it.
You know what? It's sad, but you said AEW is his claim to fame. No, it's not. The fact that he robbed a fucking bank is his claim to fame.
And I can't even say allegedly because it happened.
No, because it's fucking true. And I'm not saying it to disrespect him. It was in the fucking news.
Nick Gage,
I
I'll
thought I
disrespect him.
I saw it on ABC fucking news. He robbed a fucking bank in Jersey
Yep.
and was caught. And went
Yeah,
to jail.
Claim to fame was
Why?
he died for a couple seconds.
Hey, I bet you he's one of those fucking guys that when he gets arrested, he's like, "Yeah, don't you know who I am? I'm Nick fucking Cage. I'm doing you a deathmatch. I'm a fucking drunk piece of shit."
Like, I've watched Nick Gage wrestle, and to an extent, when he was actually clean and healthy, yeah, he could work an occasional match. He was better as a tag team wrestler because he didn't have to do a lot of work.
Well, no, you can rely on your fucking partner. They can put you with somebody good, and next thing you know, you're fucking rocket strapped.
Yeah, but then also now the fact that he literally put all the weight back on that he lost when he was in prison, which was like literally 150 pounds.
Well, it helps when you're running from people in jail when you're not when those people are really fucking hardcore and
When,
there's no
when there's
way
actually a guy in there called Shanky, and it's not for the reason.
when there's a guy
Trying
willing
to
to kill
avoid
you,
it.
trying to kill you in jail, you run, you lose weight.
Yeah.
Trying
Jam or jelly?
trying to avoid a human booster shot from a dude named Molly.
Or have a roommate named Bubba.
Yeah.
You're my little puppet now.
But, like, that's the other thing, too. You're saying, oh, well, you're running all these shows. I'm sorry. I've never been a fan of him, but Brett Lauderdale is not a good booker. He's, honest to God, I will say this, and Chris, you will laugh at this one. He's worse than DJ Hyde.
Goddamn.
And
That's
not for the fact that everyone would think. Not for the fact that he would be disrespectful to women or disrespectful to the boys. No, it's because it's because he's disrespectful to the boys. You put certain guys over. Yeah, you came in and gave Cardona the strap. Congratulations. What have you done since then? You're running Texas. You're going to Ireland. You're going to UK. You give a shit more about worldwide notoriety than your home fucking fan base in Jersey where, no offense, Brett, you got fucking famous. You got famous because of DJ motherfucking Hyde. And that's the truth, and he knows it. Nick Gage got famous from DJ fucking Hyde. I'm not a fan of DJ, but I'm going to put respect on a name where he got guys famous and got names out there where no one else would. Because guess what? When he bought CZW, he could have put all those guys on the street and said, "Nope, I'm not dealing with you. You're Danzig's what the fuck's his name?
John Danzig?
Yes, mother. No, yeah, no, Jesus, motherfuckers. He could have put him out. The old CZW could have died with DJ. He kept the original fucking CZW around and worked around it because he knew that's where money was made.
Subjectively.
Well, no, because he knew what people came to see. But then he made it his own. But then he started pulling that away and started making it stuff that he wanted to see. He started bringing in the David Starrs.
At some point, most of his fan base is going to get laid for the first time, and then they're not going to be into deathmatch wrestling.
Right, and the one thing, and I don't know what Chris thought about this, but the one thing that he did that I always liked was he had a death match in every show. So he used those guys, but he would also sprinkle in other talent. The David Starrs, even Lucky 13, Devin Moore weren't doing death matches. They were doing regular matches. You were bringing in guys like Matt Riddle. You were bringing in, you had Zachary Wentz. You had OI4K come in. You made other stars come in. Sami Callihan was a big thing. You brought fucking Adam Cole in when he was working a Ring of Honor contract. Which, good luck ever getting that type of shit. Like, DJ may have been what he is now. I mean, apparently he's still working with CZW now. Still. But, I mean, he could have completely destroyed the deathmatch. He could have destroyed CZW's bread and butter in the deathmatch community, and he didn't. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think Lauderdale's trying to go back to what CZW was, and no offense, who really wants to watch it every month in and month out?
The funny thing is, the stuff that he's doing like a lot of the stuff that they're doing when it gets on Fight TV, like in different states and all that,
Yeah.
they're having wrestling matches and maybe one death match, if that.
Yeah.
Which GCW is becoming what
CZW.
CZ does under DJ Hyde. Like, you have to have wrestling besides all death matches. You have to.
And he's trying to get famous from that when really he's now stealing the motto of he's stealing the motto that DJ Hyde brought out because he knew that all death matches couldn't make money.
That's how they first started.
Yeah.
They first started with a bunch of death matches and shit like that. Be like, dude, it's like Zandig and da 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 da
There you go.
da. And they went off the deep end in the crazy train, and Lauderdale distanced himself away from him. And that's when they started doing more wrestling matches and still some death matches, but
The death matches made sense. I'm sorry, when you had your multi-man cage of death, it actually had a story behind it.
yeah, and it never went anywhere.
No, but at least there was a story. That was the blow-off. There was never supposed to be. Usually those type of matches were your blow-off matches. Like your cage of death, your tangle webs. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
You know when CZW jumped the shark, Chris? When they decided to bring in fucking Onita for 50 and front row was $75 fucking dollars, and you only had 5 minutes of fucking Onita.
Well, you figured that was going to happen.
Right, but $70 for front row.
Yeah, they got to pay Onita for his 5 minutes and meet and greets.
Yep.
I mean, usually when you see a legend or someone on an indie show, you know right away they're not going to work a really, really long match usually. They're there for meet and greets, and if they do work any match, they're going to be like maybe 5 minutes tops.
I don't know, man. I saw Bully Ray at Ring of Honor, and he rocked a hell of a match against Jay Briscoe.
But also, too, you get guys like Onita, Onita's how old? 60? Still doing death matches, and it's just like, listen, no one wants to see that. If you're going to bring FMW guys, at least bring your young guns that can also wrestle on the show, that you can also entertain people, be like, hey, listen, this is what we have at FMW. Come and pay attention to us, as well as, here's Onita for you guys. Like, it's an insult of intelligence. I mean, yeah, there's a joke there, right itself.
If GCW wants to pay Nick Gage for a multi-year deal, go right ahead.
Hey, Chris, do you remember our reaction when we heard about Onita and we found out how much tickets were? We'll just buy it on High Spots. Thank you very much. We spent $20 and bought it on the fucking feed. Actually, no, you were working for PW Pondering. We didn't even pay for it.
Yeah, the whole show sucked anyway because it was built around Onita, so they had a bunch of other people in there, and the whole show sucked.
You know what the best part of that show was? Joey Janela versus Leo Rush.
Yeah, that was it.
That was the best match of the night. Speaking of companies that have gone too far and completely shit the bed, Ryan, did you watch the documentary that I sent you?
No, I haven't got a chance yet. What's it about?
Okay, it is about a company, and Chris knows this company too well, and I don't know about John. Have you ever heard of a company called Black Craft Wrestling? And I don't mean the clothing line, I mean the actual wrestling company.
Yes,
Never
I
heard
have
of it.
that.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Chris, I know you've heard of it.
Black Craft Wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is they are affiliated with the clothing
Right,
line,
they're affiliated with it, but I meant just Just that. So they have a documentary on YouTube called "The Rise and Fall of Blackcraft Wrestling," or BCW. We'll just call it for there.
It rose.
You see, thank you for pointing that out. Because guess how many shows they ran?
Like a 2-inch meat missile.
Guess how many shows they actually ran? 4. They only ran 4 shows.
What? They couldn't make a documentary on the rise and fall of Hood Slam wrestling, so they're not. Hood Slam was around for a couple years. Shit, Shotzi name drops that shit. But fuck, Blackcraft, the rise of Blackcraft at Rose? When?
Yeah. What? The first show. The first show. That was the rise. Then it came crashing down. Then it came crashing down like someone's sex life with a supermodel.
Dude, that's like the rise and fall of Matt Wolf's boxing career.
So, okay, so
The story of getting knocked out by Screech?
yeah. So, all right, so just backstory for this for John. Blackcraft Wrestling is a company that was run through Blackcraft clothing line. So they affiliated with them. Pretty much people like, it was, on this card you had guys like G Raver. PCO kind of turned his gimmick around. The gimmick you see now for PCO kind of is the start of Blackcraft Wrestling. So the Frankenstein gimmick is from that. Who else was on this? Oh, god damn it. What the fuck's her name? Paige's mother. Saraya is on that. She led the women's division, and then you had like other people like Johnny Mundo was on there, or Johnny Blackcraft at that time. He was their champion for a little bit. Matthew Justice, or Justice Matthews, sorry. And one of the bigger names he had on there was Killer Cross. You had names on there. It was all, what was cool about it was all surrounded around a cult atmosphere. So you had a guy who was a preacher going around trying to get people around for this I guess you can call it a semi-cult. They held every one of their shows in a church, in like a monastery. And the preacher, I shit you not, was fucking Pinhead from Hellraiser. So, like, you had ideas of people being in this. Like, the concept's cool. You're doing, like, you're doing all the Blackcraft, the craft logos, the pentagrams, stuff like that, and you're doing it in a church. And your preacher leading it as your GM is Pinhead. It sounds like it would be a great, like, it sounds just like it could be something, right? Like, just the concept.
Yeah.
Like, there's story there. There really is. Boy, did they go off the fucking rails. So, they had one show, the first show was through the fucking roof. Like, they had a fucking great match. John Morrison wins their title. They start doing all this other stuff, and then they start building a story going up to WrestleMania. We'll get to that when we get to that, because, oh boy, that's where they went off the fucking rails. That's where I have an issue with Blackcraft Wrestling. And boy, do I have an issue with them. The next 2 shows, they're building up the company more and more. And G Raver put it out there saying, this company started doing, like, it almost felt like it was a shit show. Like, the concept was there. People were not really getting into it because of the fact that, you know, everyone saw the pentagram and they saw, because, you know, apparently people, when it comes to wrestling, are, and especially in Pennsylvania and the Northeast, are religious. Even though, you know, when it comes to that, you're getting free press, you should fucking take it and run with it. And then that was their rise. Their fall was not just a fall. It was a fucking crash and burn. Chris, do you remember what happened WrestleMania weekend with them?
Wait, what?
Do you remember what happened WrestleMania weekend with Blackcraft?
How many years ago was this?
2019. It was WrestleMania in Jersey. It was the WrestleMania in Jersey.
No, what happened? Sorry.
All right, so prelude to the show. Joey Janela's spring break was running. It ran late. Like, you know, how Joey shows, how GCW likes to run late. They get in, and they're trying to set up everything, and it's not going well. Clearly, it's not going well. They only have an hour and they're trying to fill a 4-hour show into 2.5 hours. So you think maybe what do you dedicate your time to if you're doing that? Like, if you're the booker, Ryan, if you're the booker, and you have to cram a 4-hour show into 2 hours, what would you try to do?
Cut matches.
Okay. They cut times, they did not cut matches. They decided to take a lot of time and dedicate it to their main event and their opening. Not their opening match. Their opening. Their opening was the preacher coming out with a guy saying you are going to be joining the cult of Blackcraft. The problem is you're joining us as a human sacrifice, and they take him and put 2 fucking nails in his palms and hang him from a cross.
Didn't Raven have to apologize for something way less dramatic?
Yes! Yes! Oh, it gets better. It gets better. They started cutting matches. First off, their opening match was a chain match between Schlack and G-Raver. Between Schlack and G-Raver. And then they had to take the... What was that?
Yeah, that went over great. Bloody as all hell.
Bloody as all hell. And it was a chain match, so then that takes another 10 minutes to, take the chains down and put the ropes up.
And clean up, yeah.
And clean up. Well, remember, COVID wasn't a thing yet, so they didn't have to sanitize shit. Oh no, you want to talk about bloody? So then they decided to tease, Matthew Justice comes out and says, I want a title shot, yada, 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 starts doing the whole thing. Well, Preacher looks at him and says, over my dead body. He said good and slit his throat on stage. Obviously, it was a prosthetic. But you go from crucifixion at the beginning of the show to literally slitting a prosthetic guy's throat at the end of the show. Yeah.
I mean, well, first off, Blackcraft has always been a niche clothing. So the fact that they did Blackcraft wrestling, it was going to be a niche audience.
No, I'm not
you can't market.
I'm not denying. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying this. I'm not denying that the idea of their wrestling company wouldn't have worked if they kept it story and not shock and awe. You kind of started dabbling into religion with the crucifix.
Well, all right, let me finish here quick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, all right, Blackcraft. All right, Blackcraft wrestling, same as Blackcraft clothing, is very niche, which means you're not gonna the fact that they tried to market it to the masses of wrestling fans was stupid as hell, because the only audience, as really going to get the Blackcraft stuff is the more metal audience. Because if you look at the people who are buying Blackcraft t-shirts and Blackcraft clothing, most of it is metalhead. People that get it, or people that aren't really religious, or they think it's cool or whatever. Like, I've seen it big in hardcore circles. I've seen it in metalcore circles, like that. Like, and in the scene I'm into, people wear Blackcraft all the time. I personally, I'm okay with certain stuff, but I don't like rocking stuff with upside down crosses or Baphomet. I'm not on that. I'm not on that at all. I don't. I mean, I'm very agnostic, so I can get. Well, first off, a pentagram, the whole satanic pentagram thing, or whatever. I mean, the upside down cross is the cross of St. Peter, but because I've seen a Christian hardcore band have that, and I get it. But a lot of people use it as like satanic, like, ha ha ha, fuck the church, and it's so dumb. So for Blackcraft Wrestling to do what they did, thinking that it would get over with a regular wrestling crowd, is just dumb. That's just dumb right there, because they've always been very niche. They've always been very niche. So to think that they could break out with a preacher and a sacrifice is just dumb. That's dumb on their part. Now I know why they failed.
Right. All right. Ryan, what's your opinion on this?
That's a lot to take in.
That's
I'm gonna
what
put it
she
right
said.
there. I'm gonna put it on the same wavelength as Frat Boy, Monkey Porn, CZW.
But like,
There it is.
all right, just let's dissect the last show. Like, you go from not even satanic.
From what you're describing, it's watching a monkey fuck a football.
Let's put it this way. You want to know how bad the last show was? The entire show is they've condensed the show to 5 minutes long and threw it on Botchamania.
Well, I'm sure that they've learned a very valuable lesson.
Yeah.
And that lesson is whenever you're a niche market, stay in your fucking lane, dipshit.
I mean, would it work? Yeah. If you kept it story based and made it just strictly that, because I've seen it, because they literally do almost the same thing in Pennsylvania for Sanctuary Wrestling, where it's literally wrestling on a Sunday in a church.
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, right. But like they make it just that. It's just wrestling in a church, and they do certain storylines that might be edgy. If you made it an edgy company, I don't think there would be a problem. I think the fact that you kind of tried to make it shock and awe is what killed you. Especially that when I'm seeing other wrestlers who have come out and said shit about how they don't like fans going after them for their religious takes, and then going and posting a shit of a guy getting crucified on fucking Twitter and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm at Blackcraft Wrestling. This is all good. It's all good." Like, it's like, the fuck?
Oh, hey, look, there's our truth.
Hey! John, what's your opinion on this?
I have no opinion. I really don't. I don't know enough about it to really comment about it. So, I really don't have anything to say about this one.
Okay. Like, is there certain things that have got, like, I think the better question is how far is, not with the fans, but with the promoters. It's almost like the same question we always have, is how far is too far? Like, when because it's different from a wrestling fan buying a ticket and doing that. When you're trying to go shock and awe, how far is too far?
Well, same thing can be said about another promoter that's here in Jersey that's not exactly the most scrupulous, if you get my drift, when it comes to payoffs and, charity work and.
Well, that's a different. That's different though. If that, I think that's a little different than saying someone not getting paid. If the boys are being treated right and it's the storylines, then how far is too far? It's a little different when and I know who you're talking about, brother. If a promoter is really being a royal cocksucker and not paying his boys and dipping out the back, it's a little different than shock and awe.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Since I've spoken to so many, I've been not friendly, but cordial with several promoters in my years of going to wrestling.
Right.
I've met quite a few different promoters here, there, everywhere. I can name 2 off the top of my head that I've never had an issue with because I know how they've treated the guys and girls in the back. God rest his soul, Fat Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy that used to run, I don't even know if he still runs it anymore, was IWF out of Patterson. I forget his name.
Oh, goddamn it.
It wasn't Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight, I know he had a hand in it, but it's the guy who ran IWF way back when.
Oh.
They're not even around anymore. I can't even think of his name right now. It's been so long. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name too.
But those are the only 2 promoters that I've known that have never screwed the boys. And I'm not saying anything against any current promotion that you and I go to a lot, because we all know how that person can be. He can be a great guy, but then you got to be like, oh, is he talking out of the side of his face?
Right.
I could kill the momentum when I say that, but you get my drift.
Yeah.
But Frank took it upon himself to. One thing I respected, I know this is a little off topic, but it just kind of rings to me. When Frank was alive, I went to, I don't know how many Jersey All Pro shows. I would always walk around and I would run into Frank and he would come up to me and goes, "Hi, you enjoying the show? What do you like? What don't you like?" He would actually ask a fan what he liked about the show and what he didn't like about the show. To me, that shows a promoter that gives a shit about his product and gives a shit about what the fans think of said product. But if there's guys doing stuff out of the side of their face, that's what gives some promoters a bad name.
Right, but again, I think the thing you're talking about, though, is, as well as it is important, it's not saying it's not, it's different than what I'm asking, I guess. It's like, but it's also one of the same. It's when a booker is good to the boys, yeah, the boys respect them. But but the problem is when does a storyline get too far? And I'm not even talking about where a fan would literally just get up and walk out.
Well, you know what? And Ryan, you already mentioned it. The only time I've ever heard of a wrestler and fans, or even some of the boys walking out, was the whole Raven Sandman thing. Yeah. That was bad. When Raven did that, and then he came out with that half-ass apology, but we all know that apology was bullshit. That's it. I mean, I didn't know anybody in the arena, but I mean, you had to figure some people walked out on that one. That went too far. I wasn't even crazy about that.
Is it when you start touching on religion when it really gets too far?
When you touch on religion, if it, well, a perfect example. You want to talk about religion? Remember all that shit Michaels did with Vince McMahon and your tag team partner's God?
Yeah.
I mean, Was it funny? Not really. Was it going too far? That's in the eyes of the whole
Yeah,
beholder.
and I think it did go a little too far. That's my opinion. I think it did go a little too far.
You know how he was like, "Where are you going, God? God, come back!" You know, I mean, that's when Vince was really starting to lose touch
Well,
with
Vince-
reality.
Vince caught a lot of shit for that.
Duh.
Yeah, but like, Chris, what do you got any more thoughts?
I mean, like, well, first off, like I said before, it's a very niche company. And what they should have done, people walking through the door, they should have had a freaking disclaimer saying, you know, this is not your typical wrestling company. We do things with religious imagery and all that. You know, and the thing is, like, as soon as I heard about Blackcraft Wrestling and I saw like the pentagrams, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
But the
I mean-
pentagrams, I don't think bothered that many people. I mean, listen, you're gonna have the outliers that are fucking gonna turn around and scream about it. Usually, those are like the quote unquote Bible thumpers that usually do that. But normal like wrestling fans, especially the fact that also I also have to reclaim this. The show was happening at midnight, so no kids were gonna be at these shows.
And if they were, then they had rotten parents.
Yeah, like.
Yep.
Like, you were never going to see a kid at... I mean, if you saw a kid at there, it was rare. I mean, unless you're talking about, like, a 16-year-old or something like that. I'm not... Obviously, I don't think you would see anyone younger than 16 being at these damn shows.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't as atheistic as a lot of people think. Some people do. A lot of people, if they're not straight up Christian or Catholic, whatever, they're agnostic. Basically meaning, you know, they have that base in Christianity or whatever, but they're open to other things. And the issue with something like Blackcraft, which is basically going straight up against religion, I think religion, when you start going anywhere with religion, it goes way too far. I mean, now there are people that are Bible thumpers like the Jake the Snake thing and how Austin changed John 3:16 to Austin 3:16. It worked. It was a shock, but it worked. Because, you know, you could take that, all right, ha, 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 we get it, and then here we go. But when you have... But when you start talking about ritual sacrifice and stuff like that, like The Undertaker, the whole Ministry of Darkness, I mean, there's a reason why it didn't last as long as some people wanted it to.
Well, the other thing is when Taker put Austin on that cross, he didn't put fucking nails in his hands.
Yeah.
This-
And then the whole embalming thing, which was the beginning of it, we knew he wasn't going to do it. So you're waiting for like something to happen, you know, but it's just the thought like, oh, really? Are we going to see this? And then, yeah, when he crucified Austin, when he did the thing to Stephanie, WWE got a lot of shit for that.
Right.
Their thing was like, it's not a thing against God, it's the Undertaker's religion. It's the Undertaker's whole thing, the Ministry of Darkness, blah, blah, blah. That's how they got around it. But Blackcraft wasn't doing that.
No, they weren't. Ron, you've been quiet. What do you think? What are you thinking?
What about Blackcraft?
No, I'm just saying, just in general, just from what you've been hearing.
Honestly, when Blackcraft was brought back up, I tuned it out.
No, but I'm saying is, if you maybe being down where you're living, have you seen anything that might have, from a promoter standpoint, might have crossed the line?
I mean, I don't know, man.
Well, in your sense, I was just okay. No, I was just saying if there's anything under your sense that you've seen that crossed the line, maybe not that.
Actually, yeah, the terrorist angle that led to Mohammed Hassan being released.
Okay.
And that was only over the line because that shit like debuted the same day as a terrorist attack.
Right.
In London, I remember that. Yeah.
So like that was because of bad timing. That I'm sure that the writing team heard that news and they were just like, you know what, it'll be all right. It wasn't, man. You fucking turned off a lot of your fans by doing that. Like, he did have his finger on the pulse. It was up his ass.
Right. Now.
Oh, Vince?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a shocker.
Like, and it's the same thing. Like, it's just funny. The documentary is really interesting. The fact that they did a hour documentary, on a company that
Send
only,
that to me, Ronnie, because I never saw it.
I'll send it. I'll send it. That only did four shows. They legitimately only ran 4 wrestling shows, and they did an hour documentary on them. It is an interesting concept because I think, as a shock and awe type thing, it could work if people going in know that it's just a story. Because you got to remember too, nowadays with how Twitter is and stuff like that, if you're seeing a guy literally getting put on a cross with nails through his hands, context. There's no context. Especially in 2019. Like, that's a problem.
When did Raw start to becoming AEW Dynamite, having picture-in-picture with commercials?
They've always done that because they were doing that with the promos, with the old school promos.
Yeah.
I just noticed that they were doing. So I was like, when are they becoming? They're really biting off of that.
USA doesn't do it. They're doing it on Sci-Fi because they need to make money back because of the fact that they went literally an hour commercial free.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I had no other news because there wasn't a lot of new wrestling news. The only other news that I really have is the fact that now Sony owns video game news, and now Sony owns Bungie.
Well, there is one little thing. You know, we can have some fun speculating on this, and you guys could have fun with that. They announced a women's thing in Saudi with a mystery opponent. Anybody have theories of who that mystery opponent is?
Ronda.
No, because she's already got the title shot. This is for a future title shot, I think.
Okay, so she wins. They get it's a triple threat match then. Merge the titles
Number
again.
one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's got. There's speculation that it could be one of 3 people. That it's going to be. Somebody mentioned Trish, which I doubt it's going to be. Somebody mentioned. A lot of people are mentioning Bayley, and a lot of people are saying Alexa.
I don't know, man. Paige was on her live stream today and talking about like how great her neck's been feeling and this and that, and how she's clear.
I'll throw a name out there. Lacey Evans.
She's supposedly clear now, too.
Here's the thing. And I'm going to steal a page off of Chris's book. Who do you think Saudi wants?
Oh, God.
Well, Saudi, if it's a Saudi prince, and you know they're going to want fucking Ronda.
Exactly.
But here's the question. And WWE has said this on numerous occasions, and they won't fight anybody. If you don't feel comfortable or you don't want to go, they're not going to pressure you to go.
Right.
Because that's the reason. Because don't forget, the Saudi prince wanted Daniel Bryan. He didn't go.
Well, the only person that is on a legitly you ain't going nowhere
is Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Well, that's because of his
religion.
His religious ties.
Yeah.
But you have to look at it this way. This is the same Saudi prince that said, I would love to see Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna fight.
Yeah.
But again, they're out of touch. This is the same Saudi prince that turned around and said, Brock Lesnar's now going to probably win the title.
The thing is, for me with this with the Elimination Chamber, the Women's Elimination Chamber in Jeddah. I'm not really excited for it because, oh yeah, yay, Elimination Chamber with women where they have to wear tights and big oversized t-shirts
Oh,
because
just call it what it is. They're in a snuggie.
yeah, because God forbid if a Saudi man gets a boner. Jesus Christ. I would rather have the Elimination Chamber on Raw the week before.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, just put all your commercials in the first 2 hours and have the goddamn Elimination Chamber to end the show. Or have it to open it. Rather than have, all basically have to wear a big oversized t-shirt and a full bodysuit. It's fucking retarded. I'm sorry.
And if Bailey was going to be in that match, it'd be a travesty to cover everything she's got up.
That's why
I'm just saying.
That's why I think it's Ronda. That's why I think it's Ronda. I think the Saudi Prince is going to want Ronda in there. Is going to want Ronda in it.
Yeah. I'm wondering how the fuck...
You know what? The Saudi Prince... I'm sorry, Chris. Saudi Prince can want Ronda all he wants. If she says no, they're not going to push her. Because they're not going to piss off their meal ticket for Mania. They're not going to piss her off. Because you piss her off, she could turn around and say, you know what? Fuck it, I quit. Eat the contract. She could turn around and do that. Because there's a lot of heat on her from backstage from what I'm hearing. That she didn't even want to come back.
Yeah, they kind of threw a ton of money at her.
Because technically, she really didn't have to come back. She could have sat out that last year, that contract, because they were still paying her. And she could have said, you know what, fuck it. I'll just keep collecting a paycheck. I don't need to go back and work.
Well, she was all about being a mom, and she's still all about being a mom. That's, I think, why she wanted to work SmackDown, because it's not as big as a commitment. I don't know. Yeah. My thing is like, how the fuck are they going to cover up some of these people? It's so stupid.
Well, because it's just how they are over there. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, I understand it is just what it is. But the problem is just that. It's the fact that that's how they were getting a little more lenient, but they're still not let the women dress like they actually should dress normal. To them, that is normal.
What? So are they going to make Rhea Ripley wear gloves?
Yeah, because the tattoos are forbidden. Or tattoos are
forbidden. She's going to have to be covered up in every which way, shape, or form. It's a good thing she doesn't have anything on her face. She probably have to wear a fucking mask.
It's a cultural thing, man.
Do
Yeah.
we
may
like
not
it?
have to agree with it, but it's unfortunately it's a cultural thing. You know what? They might say the same shit about us.
You know what's terrifying though, Chris? You think about it. That's a Mania payday for them.
Yeah.
Like, to them, they're thinking about, I'll cover up for for 2 Mania paydays. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to give her another freaking set of pants or tights because the one she has always has like the knee cut. Like the knee cut out so you see her tattoos.
Well, they're gonna make her wear tights over her jeans, over her gear.
And then she's gonna have to wear probably a Raw t-shirt. Probably show size.
She'll wear her new t-shirt,
which I saw Chris bought today.
She'll wear her
merch. She'll wear the Nightmares reality t-shirt. She'll wear that one because there's nothing offensive there. So
you don't know it. They might find it offensive. You don't know.
No, we don't.
How dare you use death metal text? That is way offensive to the Jeddah people.
But
that's why, if you noticed, when there was women matches, it was either an oversized Raw shirt or an oversized SmackDown shirt.
I think Natty wore one of hers.
No, she wore a SmackDown shirt. She wore a big, basically the only way I could say is they put them in a Big Show t-shirt.
World.
All I'm saying is they had to have had to throw a nice bonus at her to go, especially with how much shit she gets on Twitter. Like, tattoos are illegal. Don't you know tattoos are a slight against Allah? Like, fucking Christ, bro.
Oh, I got something we can talk about because Ryan, you brought this shit to my attention. Let's talk about Shane.
Yeah, let's talk about Shane.
Oh, boy.
I mean, the newest member of the AEW roster as of Wednesday, probably.
Well, hold on, because there's other shit that's interesting about this.
Well, he got fired, so he's going to AEW. Don't you know that by now?
Oh, just let me finish.
Oh, I was going to say one thing to what John's the newest member of AEW roster. I'm like, did you see the conspiracy theory guys already?
No, it's just typical internet wrestling community. The minute somebody's released from WWE, oh, they're going to AEW.
No, there was a post that Tony Khan says something.
I'm going to take a piss. Ryan, explain the whole thing when they're done.
Okay, so people are going off about like how they think that this Forbidden Door thing might be Shane because of Tony Khan's post on could be from somebody from a company we're not on good terms with, blah blah blah, and Shane was super pissy about being fired from WWE. Some people think it might be Triple H, which I find completely fucking comical.
Yeah, that's Ryback level crap.
Right. But there are people that are trying to lend credibility to it being Shane because right now he's pissed off at his dad. And what better way than to
go work for your competition?
Go work for your competition.
Okay, I'm back.
I was saying the funniest part is there was a post and like one of these crazy conspiracy people, whatever, circled SHANE in the post. He's like, look, it all makes sense. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a conspiracy theorist, but let's get the fact that he actually got fired by his fucking father.
Yeah, he wasn't released. He was let go. There is a difference.
Like, he got fired because he bitched about Riddle winning the fucking Rumble. It's like, listen, the conspiracy theorists can say whatever they want. There's other questions to all this that I have that are not conspiracy theorists. That are fucking, why are they not letting Hunter fucking work anymore? And where the fuck is Stephanie?
I'm sorry. I'm watching. Guess who's on Raw?
No, he's signed with us. Don't you know that by now? Didn't you see my post in the chat?
He's still coming. Sorry.
But
no, you didn't see the chat, did you?
No, I saw it.
No, I'm saying to Chris, you didn't see the chat, did you? Look at the Skype chat.
Breaking news. He's coming to the ESPN. Eventually. He'll be here before he'll be on Raw, so yeah.
But no, like, Shane getting fired, though. Back to what we were going to talk about. Shane got fired. Like, do people not understand how big of a fucking deal is? That actually concerns me that they are actually going to sell this company to someone other than a McMahon.
I don't know if he's gonna.
Or someone's gonna buy it. I shouldn't say sell it. Someone's gonna buy it other than a McMahon.
Well, since they've already spent money with Disney money, would not be shocked if Disney put in a bid on them.
Oh, that means they're going to ESPN because they wouldn't go.
Which means you're going to see. Wrestling has already been the WWE has already been a Mickey Mouse operation the last couple of years. So why not send it to the fucking mouse?
Yeah. I mean,
Welcome to WWE.
uh,
Oh, that thing I said about Superhuman before,
mm,
Ronnie. I spoke to a friend of ours that was at the show this past Saturday,
yeah.
and I said to him, "Are you going to get involved tonight?" And he goes, "I don't know." And I go, "I would love to see you wrestle that piece of crap, Superhuman." And he goes, "Somebody in Texas offered me a couple grand to wrestle him, and I couldn't do it because he's committed somewhere else. But somebody in Texas wanted the two of them to wrestle." But here's the thing: that person I'm speaking of is actually learning how to work.
I know. It's Mike. I know who it is.
Mike, yeah, yeah. But I just didn't know if you want me to name drop
I
him.
don't care. It's Mittens.
Yeah, Mittens. I mean, he's training to actually work.
He's been working with Danny. Danny DeMonto's been training him.
But he's actually learning the right way. Superhuman's just a piece of shit.
Right.
I know. Ryan, do you want to go off on him? I know it's been a while since you've ranted on him.
Superhuman?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Like, I kind of actually want to.
I'm just over the fucking idiot, man.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop! Shut the fuck up. Jump into something dangerous.
Like, I kind of want to talk.
You
about,
like your fist? How about your fist?
Like, I really do
My
want to talk
fucking
about.
fist, my fucking foot.
Yeah. I mean, I really do
Like,
want to
I don't-
talk about this shit though, with the whole thing with Shane, because this is big. Because, like I said to Ryan before, Hunter, they're not letting Hunter come back to work.
After his cardiac event.
Yeah. But my bigger question is where the fuck is Stephanie?
She's staying with her husband. She's staying she's staying loyal to him.
Well,
She's probably pissed off just as much as he is. Because I'm willing to bet, and I'm not going out on a limb here. I'm willing to bet that Triple H and Stephanie went to Vince and said, "We want to buy the company. We want to put in a bid on buying the company." Because then that way Vince can retire and go off to La La Land, wherever the fuck he wants. And then Triple H and Stephanie would be in charge of WWE and make it the product it should be. Not the joke that it is now.
well, this is where I come in and say, yeah, get ready. Everyone's doing the conspiracy theorist, and it's like, listen, don't be shocked if we turn around within the next 5 years and legitly see Hunter, Shane, and Stephanie starting their own company, making it like another NXT. Would not shock me one bit.
It wouldn't shock me either, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening.
Well, if they're not letting Hunter go back to work, then I don't see what else they can't do. Like, Hunter wants to go back to work. Hunter wants to work. They killed NXT because it was doing too well. Like, no one's really talking about this as not being any news. No, this is huge fucking news. That's the problem. People are not talking about this, they're thinking, oh, Shane is now going to make money. I go, Shane got fired. He left once, made himself a fucking millionaire by working in China, and then fucking coming back and then gets fired. Like, he could have put in a bid to buy WWE if he really wanted to. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The biggest issue with WWE was when they went public. That was their biggest problem. Because now you're not trying to make the best product for you. You're trying to make the best product for your shareholders.
Yeah.
So.
That's what they wanted to do. I mean, Shane So Shane got fired from his talent contract, right?
No, he's fired. He is fired. He is done with the company, period. Vince threw him out the fucking door.
Said, don't come back.
Yeah, don't come back.
Over his
Well,
Rumble
shit.
fuck up.
Things outside of WWE anyway. So, I mean, to me, that's not that big of a deal because
Not that big a
Shane-
deal. What are you smoking? The funny stuff? This is a McMahon. This is
Yeah,
somebody that's synonymous with WWE wrestling, it's been in the family since the early 60s.
I'll tell you why it's not that big of a deal.
Oh,
One,
I'd love to hear this.
no, because Shane was doing other business ventures outside of WWE anyway.
But he was always
Like,
with the company. He was always.
He would come back.
Sorry, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
He would come back for a cup of coffee or whatever, or help with production ends on certain things. But most of the time, he was gone. Like he was doing other things. There always been talk that he wanted to do other things, and he was trying to do other things. So, and the fact that he's fired from, I mean, so basically him being quote unquote fired is from his talent contract as an on-screen talent. Let's be honest.
No, that's where you're wrong, Chris. I hate saying that. That's where you're wrong. Vince threw him out. He's not working on production. He's not working anything. Yeah, he got fired from the talent, but then he got fired. You don't let the door where the good Lord split you.
All right.
And Hunter has not been asked to come back. And Stephanie, as of right now, I have not seen a
I don't know. Nobody knows where Stephanie is.
Yeah.
Well, Triple H is still recovering from the stroke.
He's been cleared by doctors. He's been cleared for the last 2 months.
He's not like he's gonna wrestle. They just don't want him back in the company, period.
When NXT went to Bruce Pritchard, that's when he had a clean bill of health. When NXT went to 2.0, his bill of health was clean. He was cleared by doctors to come back to work. Not as an in-ring talent, but to work.
Basically be a producer like he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's... I'm sorry, that to me is... That's big. Like, the fact that, like we said, where the fuck has Stephanie been? Because Stephanie usually puts a... I just saw a tweet from Hunter. Legitly today. Today was the first time I saw Hunter put a tweet out. And they were in New York. Her and Stephanie were in New York and they saw Hamilton. It's been God knows how fucking long since they put it. Hunter's been radio silent for almost like 6 fucking months.
Yeah. The last time I heard anything with him, it was the only time he was in the news is when he had his cardiac event.
Yeah. Which was apparently like a triple bypass. Like it was bad, apparently.
But that was the last time anybody heard anything about Triple H. Now,
You're starting to hear
it's almost
rumbles.
like-
You're starting to hear a little rumbling from Hunter being like, hey, I'm good, yada, yada, yada. Nope, we don't want him back.
well, because, I mean, think about it this way. WWE single-handedly took one of the only reason why I went out and I got the damn WWE network in the past, when it was still the WWE network, was 3 little letters, NXT. Now, NXT is welcome to Sesame Street, boys and girls.
You're not giving it enough credit.
I'm not. I'm not going to, because you know what it is? I'm not knocking the wrestlers.
Well,
I'm knocking the whole color scheme. It looks like fucking Sesame Street on acid.
Okay, so was Nitro. And Nitro did fine until fucking got bought out. Nitro had a color scheme that was out there. So did Thunder.
But here's the other thing, too, which I'm not crazy about with NXT. And this is not a knock on any of the boys or the young ladies down there. They're working their ass off, and it shows in the ring work. But the fact is that WWE will not hire any more indie guys, and if you're over a certain age, they don't want to hear from you. That's what made NXT popular, is when they went out and they got all this fantastic indie talent. That's what made NXT. That's what put NXT on the map. Now you're going off to all these colleges and hiring all these young guys and girls who have who we don't even know if they've had a lick of wrestling experience, and is trying to turn them into the next Hulk Hogan's and the next Trish Stratus's or whatever, what have you. Will it work? Future's out there. We don't know.
I mean,
My opinion, I don't think it's gonna work. But without some guys and girls in that ring that know what the hell they're doing, that have been around the ring, you're going to have nothing but failure, in my opinion. Just saying.
I mean, you look at who's been working right now, it's gimmicks that have been working, and I look at guys like Breaker. Breaker's doing fine, and he's still green as goose shit.
But he's got the pedigree for it. Look who his uncle and father are.
Okay, then
There's
okay,
a pedigree there.
Okay, I won't use Steiner. What about oh god, fucking Bibbidi Bobbidi. Fucking he's doing fine. D'Angelo.
I haven't watched it, so I have yet to watch any of the new NXT, to be honest with you. I've kind of drifted off with it.
NXT has been fine. Guys like Duke Hudson have been fucking great for the company right now, and he's still fairly new. It's a newer gimmick.
All right.
Go ahead, Chris.
I mean, the NXT women's division is run by indie girls still. Everybody in Toxic Attraction besides Mandy Rose was in the indies. The contenders, Kaylee Ray, indie. Raquel Gonzalez was on NXT, the old one, and she went to the indies. Cora Jade from the indies. I mean, even Wendy Chu, the new one, was carrying out on the indies. So
I love Wendy Chu.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, though, so the whole thing about them trying to find people from that and put them on, the only one might be no, it's not even Stratton, because Stratton worked on the indies for a cup of coffee, but a little bit.
Now, I get what he's saying. Like, the men that they just hired, but they released 90... There's only 2 guys that they got off this whole college thing, the whole college tour. They fired everybody, except 2 people.
Great Lawler worked in Australia for a bit.
No. But what John's saying is, remember when they did the whole program where they were like, oh, we need to have all the college program to try to find new stars?
Oh, God, yeah.
They fired them all already. So it really doesn't matter. I think they kept 2 guys around to keep in the Performance Center. No one else made the cut. So it really...
So by all means, let's keep that philosophy in place.
But that doesn't mean anything, because you're still going to have guys that you're trying to build stars. The Performance Center is already overloaded with people that they hired to begin with.
Well, it's one thing if they do hire people that have, like, that college amateur wrestling background, because...
what's the kid's name? The kid that made the Olympic team last year. That's in WWE.
Gable Stevenson, who was drafted to Raw and has not wrestled 1 match.
He's still in NXT.
That's it.
Yeah. He's still developing.
I'm not saying him. I was just saying a couple weeks ago, or months ago, I think during an NXT broadcast, I think I tuned it in because I think I leaned on the remote and it must have turned to it. They went and they showed like over 30 people that they just hired to do that. It was all collegiate people, girls and guys.
Yeah, they're all gone now, by the way, because they couldn't cut it. They even said, yeah, it was a mistake. They they said no. They stopped it. They kept 2 guys to stay in Performance Center because they can cut it. But I can't blame WWE for trying to want to build their own stars either.
Look, I understand if you want to build new stars. I got no problem with that. But my whole thing is, you hired. I mean, when you cut your entire roster, when you release all this talent, you're basically putting all your eggs. Okay, let me ask you this: when the people like the Breakers and the Tonys and whatever, who else are down there right now?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. When they get when they get pulled to the main roster, and like 1 or 2 of them might last, the rest are probably going to get released. Who are you going to replenish it with?
There's guys that are
Who's going to be your next crop of big names?
There are guys that are down at the Performance Center that we don't know about because they don't fucking show them. They have overloaded the Performance Center to the point where I'm surprised the Performance Center hasn't gotten half of them released yet. They can't show everybody on television. There's guys that are not TV ready. But they have guys that are all down there that are just waiting to get put on TV. I mean, shit. You look at the guys that you have now, yeah, they're all gimmicks. It's clear what WWE is going to be going to when all these young talent come up to the main roster. They're going to go back to kind of the sour days of the late 80s, early 90s where it was very gimmick heavy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that was some of the lowest ratings that they ever experienced.
Because the writing was horrible. The writing was clear as day was bad. Because they weren't...
And it's not any better now.
NXT, the writing's fine. NXT, the writing's been fine. There's no issue with NXT. Yeah, they're going more gimmick friendly. Clearly. But the writing's been good. And it also really doesn't matter if it's gimmick friendly if the wrestling is good. The wrestling has still lived up to the top notch that it needed to be, even with guys that are still kind of green. But you still have guys that are they're working around what they can. Braun Breaker, yes, it's Rex fucking Steiner. He knows how to work because he's been training to that. But at the same time, he is a natural athlete. He is a pro fucking football player. I'm sorry, I remember back in the day where we all say, oh, well, it's all collegiate athletes. Does anyone remember what Vince's type used to be back in the late 90s? Or early, like mid-90s? Bodybuilders.
Yeah, we all remember the WBF.
Yeah, so guess what? He doesn't want indie guys. He's never liked indie guys to begin with. He likes guys that think he looks like that can make him money. I can't blame him for that.
I can't blame him for that either. But you're telling me, like, people like Roddy Strong, who's still under contract, God only knows why, what they're probably going to waste with him. But you let people like Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, you let guys that Johnny Gargano, you let guys that were such great in-ring workers fall by the wayside for what? For what?
Okay, riddle me this. How did Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly fall to the wayside? They were the hottest fucking tag team in WWE. They didn't want to re-sign their contract. They left. They didn't get released. They left. They said they got released,
yeah, well,
but
that's
they
what
left.
they're saying. That's what they're saying. But who's to say? They saw the writing on the wall, probably. They saw the writing on the wall with how WWE was being run. They're like, I'll be fucked if I'm going to lay my name to this.
But even then, so Adam Cole left. Okay, he left. He didn't want to be there. He asked for his release. They granted it to him. But at the same time, his contract was up. They all didn't want to re-sign. There's nothing that they can do about it, but at the same time, Adam Cole wanted to still wrestle. WWE came to him and said, you were too small to be on television in the main roster. You have to be a speaking role. He said, fuck you, and left. Like, how did any of them get flourished in WWE? Because Gargano left because, I mean, shit, he's probably 95% wanted to retire. A lot of these guys did not want to go on the main roster. That was the problem. They wanted to be NXT lifers. When they realized that they had to go to the main roster, they said, no, I'm not resigning. Bye.
Ryan, I want to get Ryan's take on all of this. And then, Chris, I want to get your take on what we've been talking about.
Mm.
Well, we kind of been jumping around here.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about NXT and stuff like that. He's been pretty much what John's been bringing up.
NXT, I think, is doing just fine. Pro wrestling is about reinvention and keeping current with what the crowd wants to see. And it's obviously what the crowd wants to see because they're still, kicking ass ratings-wise. So I don't have a problem with it.
Yep. Chris, what about you?
I don't have a problem with it. And the thing is also, the wrestling is still there because I don't know how much Triple H is involved in NXT. I know he's not like
not anymore. He's done. They kind of fired Triple H without firing Triple H.
I doubt that because Shawn Michaels still works for him.
Shawn talks to him, but Hunter's not being allowed to come back to work. If Hunter was back to work, I don't think we'd be seeing.
That thing, but there are still wrestlers that saying they're still talking to Triple H constantly.
Talking and working for are two different things. I mean, you're not wrong, but talking and working for are two completely different things.
My God. I mean, he's still working with them. That's what I'm saying. Not working for him. I'm saying working with them. I mean, is he the end-all be-all like he was before? No, but he still has his hand involved in it because Shawn's there. So Shawn wouldn't be there if they fucked over Triple H. You know that. So, and they still have people there that are working, that are helping the women and the men out. So as long as the in-ring product is still there, it's going to be fine. As far as the bells and whistles, I'm not a big fan of the bright shit, but it is what it is. I mean, like how Ryan said, it's all about reinvention. And if they think that the NXT Black and Gold got stale, then they had to do what they do. I mean, do I think it was an overreaction from Vince? Yeah. A massive overreaction. I think people are reading more into the AEW thing than they really should have. And I think that's one thing that really hurt them is because before it's like, oh, AEW's their own thing, they're doing their own thing, and all of a sudden the AEW's like, no, we want competition, we want this, we want that, we want to kick your ass, and it's just like, and WWE bought into the bullshit, and they changed things when they really shouldn't have. But it is what it is. As far as storylines in NXT, they're getting better. The storylines are still there. I mean, Grayson Waller's become one of the biggest fucking heels in wrestling. I mean, he's a dick. I mean, there are not many heels that go in that work in a company where as soon as their music hits, you boo them out of the building. This dude, as soon as you see the sign that says Grayson Waller effect, he gets booed out of the fucking building. And it's not like X-Pac heat. It's like straight up heel heat.
Yeah, he's getting MJF
right.
type heat.
What?
He's getting MJF type heat.
I mean, he's got massive heat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he showed up to Raw and got booed out of the building. So there's something there.
Now, Chris, what's the whole opinion with the not hearing from Stephanie or the firing of Shane? And not, this is conspiracy theorist. I'm saying, what's your actual opinion?
Well, Shane fucked up the Rumble, so that is what it is. And again, like Shane's hands off, and honestly, I don't think I need to see Shane on TV anymore. So it is what it is. Stephanie, as far as I know, she still does like the PR and the brand stuff. So I mean, Stephanie's been off camera for a while, and that's by her doing. So
But that's the thing. I'm not even talking about off camera. They shouldn't be on camera. Like, but the fact that they're getting let go, I think, is a bigger sign of the fact that Shane really was starting to come back and work backstage. Shane does not need to be on television. Clearly, it's just, dude, we get it. You show up for once in a blue moon, whatever. But
what I heard is Shane threw his weight around, bullied some people, and really
yes,
pissed off a lot of people. Hence,
no,
if he
he's the
back
reason
one time,
Riddle. He's the reason Riddle didn't win the Rumble.
yeah, and if he pissed off a bunch of people, then
Well, he was trying to change story components that Vince was adamant about.
yeah, I mean, and if you keep trying to do that, you try to throw your weight around, and go, "Oh, I'm a McMahon. I'm going to talk to my dad." Eventually, Vince is going to get a little pissed and be like, "Yo, all right, we got to stop this." And then if you probably gave Shane an ultimatum, you can do these things and that, and Shane's like, no, or whatever, then Vince said, fine, fuck it, we're done. It is what it is. I mean, the minute Shane wants to come back and do something off camera that's not in a production thing, I'm pretty sure Vince will be like, you're hired back.
No, I will actually disagree with you. I think he is fired completely. I think he is not going to have
Because
anything to
all
do
this
with.
happened during production.
Yeah, all this happened during production, not the in-ring stuff. This all happened for production. Vince gave him his walking papers.
But I'm saying there are other positions and other things to do in World Wrestling Entertainment than production and on camera.
I mean, Shane has always been.
If Shane decides that he wants to do marketing or whatever, I'm pretty sure Vince will be like, welcome back. It's that. It is what it is.
I mean, that's your opinion. I don't think so. I think Shane's fired. I would not be shocked if you see Shane start working on something else. And I'm not talking about going to AEW. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about figuring something else out. Because I can so see him starting like a WCW type revival. Something like that can actually compete. That has the money and not like AEW. Someone with the smarts of Vince to actually start a war.
Well, Shane was doing other shit besides wrestling. Just goes back into that.
He was doing TV stuff for China. That's how he made himself a millionaire. He was doing TV broadcasting for China. He has the money to actually compete. That's the thing I think people don't understand. It's like he has the money that if he wanted tomorrow to go and start a wrestling a company, he could. That's the terrifying thing.
Well, he's also the chairman of Ideanomics, so he has shit going.
Right.
So it's not wrestling shit. He doesn't need to do wrestling shit all the time.
He wants to do wrestling stuff for his kids, though. That's the thing. He wants to leave something. That was the whole point of him wanting to be back with WWE, is to leave something for his kids. For his sons to run. Just kind of like he thought that he was going to get from Vince.
Excuse me.
But, I mean, it is what it is. John, what do you think about? What you got any more to add to this or no?
No, not really.
Okay, Ryan, you got anything you want to add?
Not a thing, my friend.
Okay. There's nothing else I really have. Like I said in the beginning, the only other thing that I really had was Activision. Not Activision. Sorry, Bungie got bought out by Sony. So now Destiny 2 is going to be a PlayStation exclusive. And all the internet fanboys screaming, "We own Halo!" Yeah, you're fucking stupid. You're dumb. Because Halo belongs to Microsoft, not Bungie. But that's really it. Unless there's anything else we want to talk about, we can call it a night.
I got nothing.
I don't know. Saw Jackass over the weekend. It was
So
good.
did I. So did I.
Okay, I mean, I kind of got the cliff notes out of it from John the other day, but I mean,
I haven't.
I'm gonna go see it. So I'm gonna definitely go see this because it's Jackass. I haven't missed a fucking theatrical release of that.
I will give one pro tip. This has nothing to do with the movie. Jackass is not the movie that you want to have a lot of snacks at.
No kidding.
I ate popcorn during it, and it didn't bother me.
It can be
Till we
that.
get to Dave England taking a shit on something.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't.
Oh wow, that's a first.
There was no Dave England shitting on anything, believe it or not. And that's what that was actually, since I brought Alicia to that was my biggest fear. I'm like, oh, please don't let anything with Dave England, was shit. But the beginning of the movie pretty much put a kibosh on that. And Chris, since you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it for Ronnie or Ryan, but I looked at her face and I got the death stare.
The funniest thing is, there was a guy sitting by me. He had popcorn and soda. I'm like, dude, are you sure you want to do that? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you know that Jackass doesn't just do physical humor, right? He's like, yeah. 30 minutes in, he's looking at that popcorn. He just like closes it away. Looks at that soda, puts it over that way. I go, dude, if you're going to throw up, can you just do it to the right? And of course, as soon as I say something, vomit on the screen. I mean, if you have a weak stomach or a queasy stomach with things with how can I put it?
Just say.
Sexual.
I was gonna say, just say what it is because it's Jackass. If you know the Jackass movies, if you've seen the third one, you know what's coming.
Yeah, vomit, cum, shit.
Yeah.
If you have any problems with seeing vomit, cum, and shit, you might not want to eat anything.
Bodily fluids, you could have just said.
Oh, there's plenty of that. That's for damn sure. There was plenty of that.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Opening credits. That's
what I said.
Oh, fucking Christ!
But other than that, I mean,
So are Shreks.
yeah, I'm gonna try to go see it. And Alexa,
you know what? If you're a fan of of Jackass in any way, shape, or form, you'll enjoy it because I have a theory about it. But like I said, I want to make sure everybody sees it before I start talking about my theories.
Well,
Because I think we should do. I'm just going to shoot this idea out there. No, you know what? I'll say it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say
off
say
air.
it off air if you got an idea.
I'll say it off air.
I kind of think I know where your idea's going, but yeah, save it for off air.
No, I don't think you do. I think you do, but you may not. But we'll discuss it off air. But I got nothing else other than that.
All right.
I have one thing with it. If they're going to continue the series, as you know, some of the older guys are going to have to bow out. Do you think you're going to see more of Zach Holmes' friends from Too Stupid to Die show up?
I don't think so. I know you got the three new guys. You got the new fat guy. You got Poopy and all them in this now, and I think they're going to start leading the way of like this what Steve-O used to be. And honestly, I'm surprised that. Let me ask you this: do we see any of the Nitro Circus guys in this or no?
No.
That surprises me.
I mean,
There was none of them there. There was no Matt Hoffman. There was none of them guys. The only one that's in the movie for about 2 seconds is Hawk.
Yeah, well,
He's in it for about 2 seconds, just like Bam's in it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, they're both in it for like 2 seconds.
yeah.
The only
And I
thing
already told you where Bam was because if you didn't know where he was, you'd miss him. Chris, did you spot him or no?
like, not really.
You remember? Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna say it because then that way, that when the other two when Ronnie and Ryan see it, they'll know where to look. Do you remember when they did the marching band treadmill?
Oh my God.
He was one of them. Because when they did the slow motion of them slamming into the wall, you saw Bam's face. Bam was that was the only bit that Bam was in that they filmed that they put in the movie.
Yeah, because they filmed it. They filmed some of it before COVID, and they filmed a lot of it after COVID. That's why John Knoxville has black hair at certain parts, and he has like the gray hair.
But I'm saying that was the only scene Bam was in before he was axed. So when you guys see the treadmill marching band, that was Bam's one and only appearance.
Okay.
Before the drink thing. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if they're going to continue it, I could see Kyler from Too Stupid to Die
You know
show.
what? Well, like I said, off air, I'm going to pitch something, but we'll discuss the Jackass stuff off air, though.
Yeah, but all right. We all good? We want to close this out for tonight?
I'm good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the show. If you like what you heard, please follow us on all social media accounts under the Nerdport Network. Follow us individually at F and Ronnie.
At Chips NXC.
At the Zombie Master.
At Stuncock STL.
And join us back here on Wednesday as we go back into the deep dive into good, the bad, and the what the fuck was that in the world of sports. Oh boy, will the dive deeper and deeper and deeper into the Brian Flores portal. That and much, much more. So we will see you all Wednesday, and until then, we will see you later.
Peace.